Playbook for Performance, the official podcast of Shauna Corden, the Joan of Arc for corporate healing and performance. Join the quest to make work fun again by preparing leadership for engaging workplaces.
Hey, welcome back, everybody.
Your host.
If you were with us last week, you know that we're talking about how you can best coach your team or your kids according to their style. And I gave you a quick overview of the 4 main personality types. And for my mnemonics, for people I teach mnemonics, I have come up with 4 sound bites and 4 avatars that you can draw to mind very quickly to go, oh, this person best matches this person. Therefore, I can work with this. So let me recap those very quickly. And if you're listening to the podcast, you know that you can quickly just jump in the chapters. If you're watching on YouTube, you're just going to have to speed me up. Sorry. So if you imagine the face of a clock, between 9 and 12 is what we call the D style or the dominant style. The soundbite or the mantra for that personality type is get it done. They love accomplishing things. They're very set on that. The best avatar I can come up with is Donald Trump. Not everybody loves Donald Trump, so LeBron James is another alternative for you. All about getting it done. The I type, which is between 12 and 3 on the clock, that personality type is really about, the including others, getting together. Their whole soundbite is let's get together. They love a party. They love to kick stuff off. Their avatar is Richard Branson. Not good enough to have an airline. I got to go into space and race hot air balloons too. Okay. If you look between the 3 and the 6 on the clock, that's our S style, our steady style. And their whole soundbite or mantra is let's all get along. They love to keep the peace. Oprah is a very good avatar for that. And then finally, our C style is between that 6 and 9. They are really focused on accuracy. Their mantra is get it right. And Steve Jobs is the avatar for that. So, now that you've had that real quick overview, let's dive more deeply in that D style, that Donald Trump, LeBron James, get her done. So, if you're managing a D style, whether it be your child, whether it be a staff member, we need to adapt our style in a very agile way to what they most need and what's appropriate in that situation. Now, depending where you are on that clock face, it could be very difficult to manage a D style because it's a demanding personality type. But also, not everyone is a pure boilerplate of their style. And so we don't want to give excuses for them to behave in a certain way based on their style. We also don't want to pigeonhole them based on their style. We want to meet them in the middle based on what they need. So what do they need? Or let me back up. How is this type characterized? So if you think about LeBron James, if you think about Donald Trump, it's like they are direct. There's a reason that this personality type is called the dominant style, okay? Direct. They're very firm. They're strong-willed. They are not easily talked out of an idea once they've got it in their head that this is the best way to proceed. They are forceful. So they use a lot of persuasion, willpower, command to get things done. They are results-oriented. So when I say get it done, I don't mean halfway done. I mean get it done. Okay? And it's very interesting because we know psychologically people's self-esteem is based on meeting commitments they made to themselves. Often self-confidence comes from the accomplishments that they have achieved. So this is a very non-humble personality type. They're proud, but they have gotten a lot done. They have a lot of accomplishments that build that self-confidence. Okay, so They don't like to be held back because you might be eroding their progress. So what do they value? These people value immediate results. If you talk to them, they're not a 30-page PowerPoint. They're not a novel. They are a bulleted list. Dot, 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 dot. So if you're going in to talk to them, don't give them a big old story. Give them the bullets. That's what they want. And they will talk to you in bullets. Okay? They love to take action. So if you think about the horse that's in the gate ready to race, they get frustrated if they're held back too long. They want to run. They want to go. They love challenge. So whether it's 75 hard, whether it's some other kind of, pushing themselves, they want to get better all the time. So I would guess, I don't have any data on this, but I would bet like the personal development, book section is fueled by the D's of the world. So that's what they value. What are they motivated by? Power, authority, competition, winning, success. Sports competitors, often D style. So when you're rewarding them, they would love a better title, right? They would love more influence. They would love more staff members. They want to be in a position where they can win, but also with challenge, right? So they don't want you to give them the easy assignment. They want the one that, they get the trophy for. So what are they afraid of? The opposite, right? Loss of control. I think, if I could do a survey of all the people who would be willing to be hypnotized, I think D's would be at the top of the not list. They don't want to be taken advantage of. Anything that sort of erodes their reputation in the eyes of others or makes them look weak, anything like that, that is very annoying to them. Vulnerability. I have lots of D clients. And I love them. They're great. But I don't use the word vulnerability with them because that's like, ew. I say available. So try that. Or would you be willing to do an experiment? Things like that. So characteristics, self-confident, accomplishment list, as long as your arm. And again, don't forget that confidence is bred by accomplishment, right? So it is this virtuous circle here. They like to take risks. So they really would like to go for the reward. They don't want to play in the safe, sure thing. They'd rather go for the triple or the home run than the steady, single at bat. And then finally, what are their limitations? Because every personality type has their own limitations. They can be perceived. Let me be clear. Perceived, not actually true, but they may be perceived as having a lack of concern, impatience, insensitivity. And that's because the way they communicate. They tend to and they don't really say, and let's hear your opinion. They're kind of like, any questions? They've kind of made up their mind. And so if you think about that, that's what's really driving them. So those employees will demand a lot from you as a leader, or these children will demand a lot from you as a parent. They will want to know, when can I do it? When do I have to be back? How come I can't do this? Why am I grounded? Why are you making me look bad? Why won't you let me try this? These kinds of things. So the more that we can have very clear boundaries, very clear expectations, but then give them a long leash, the better off these employees will perform. And they really want to, lasso the moon for you. They do. They love being like your favorite star player. They might be a little bit of a bulldog in a china shop, but every team needs one of those. They need someone who will get stuff done. This is your perfect tool for that. If this is a child, I would say find a way to give them a place to really excel, even if it's like, how many times can you run around the park, within 3 minutes, that kind of thing. They really need that, and their confidence will blossom, and then they'll try more and more. I don't want to say risky things. It's not always risky, but they're going to try more challenging things because they want to push themselves. So, thinking about yourself, where are you on the clock compared to this person that's between the 9 and the 12? Are you between 3 and 6? If so, they might be the toughest person for you to manage because they're almost your direct opposite. They like to move fast. You like to be more measured. They like to question everything. You pretty much accept things at face value. Now, of course, both of you may have exceptions when it comes to this. You may have adapted. You might only be slightly inclined versus strongly inclined. But you'll have to be very intentional with these people. If you happen to be a C or an I, you share one component or the other with them, and you can lean on that. But you'll definitely want to be direct with them. Give them bullets. They don't want the story. They don't really want the background unless they ask. And that might be an exception to their personality type. So if you've found this helpful, I'm going to be going through each of the personality types in the next few weeks. But I do workshops on this, and I would love to meet with you and your team and really reveal this to all of you about what's your kind of default personality type, what exceptions do you have, how can you work better together. It might be, just like I talked about last week, you might just need to be the leader that brings the coffee on Monday morning and 15 minutes of catching up before you can run with your own style. So, if you're interested, I'm booking workshops for late October, early November, first half of December. So let me know if you want to work on this with your team. Until then, take good care.
Thank you for listening to Playbook for Performance. To learn more about Shauna Corden, her consulting programs and tools, please visit her website at shaunacorden.com and follow us on social media at Shauna Corden.